Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of What's Poppin' Podcast, episode number 3.
Yeah,
That's correct.
Technically, yes.
Yeah, episode number 3. Welcome in, guys. Hope you guys had a great weekend, a great to start new week as well. Yeah, man, it's been a long week, dude.
Yes,
how's everything
has.
with you, Tim?
Oh, it's going all right as far as everything can go. Aside from car issues and tires kind of having their thing.
Life, man, life.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
But other than that, it's been busy and good. Got to see Underwater, which we'll do a review after this podcast sometime.
Yep. We'll have our mini review up after this. So
yes. But yeah, other than that, I just been enjoying life and being pretty chill. I know that you've been having a harrowing experience.
Yeah. So my 2-year-old actually ended up getting sick.
Yeah.
And we've just been in and out of urgent care, and luckily it's nothing been too serious. Everything seems okay. Everything's fine. It's just been kind of overwhelming, and then I had plans to go to Disneyland and stuff, and those plans almost got canceled because if he wasn't fine, then I wasn't gonna go. But he ended up getting a little bit better, so that was good. So luckily everything is starting to calm down a little bit here. But I was at Disneyland yesterday, and I was sending him text messages of me like in front of the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah, I was so jealous, man.
yes. Man, it was such a cool and fun experience. I was very overwhelmed. I was on the inside, I was jumping up and down like a little kid, dude, and being inside the cantina, little like the bar area. Yeah. Oh my God, what an experience, man. The drinks, everything was really good.
Was it really crowded too, or was it pretty?
No, since it was a Monday, it wasn't too bad.
Nice.
The longest line we had to wait for was for have you ever been to Disneyland, by the way?
Not Disneyland in California at all. I've only been to Disney World twice.
Oh, you've been to World. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, I see. I haven't been to you got me there, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, the longest line we had to wait for was probably an hour, and that was for the ride of Space Mountain.
Space
and it went by pretty quickly too, because we're playing like mini games on our phones with each other. It was it was fun. It was a good time. But yeah, other than that, man, I've just been trying to stay up to date with all this news, dude. Holy crap.
The main reason we had to switch the whole way we were doing podcasts anyway is because we didn't realize in a given week how much stuff goes down in Hollywood. Like a lot of things get announced and talked about, and it's like, good grief,
and canceled too. It's
that's a whole nother
yeah, but it's exciting though, because it gives us things to talk about here, other than just our favorite film.
True.
So I am ready to get into this. Are you ready for the news stuff?
Yeah, let's get it. Everybody take a stretch, get comfortable with a snack.
Get your waters.
Here we go.
We got quite a news, and there's some of the stuff I definitely want to give our deep thoughts into it. First bit of news is something that I'm excited for, but at the same time, I don't know what to expect. Okay. The John Wick TV series, The Continental, is on track to premiere in late 2021.
See, I didn't even know that was a thing or happening at all.
I had no idea that was happening either. I don't know if this is actually going to be like on a streaming service, or if this is going to be on just regular TV.
Well, what do you know? What studio? Is it Warner Brothers who does the John Wick movies?
The series was picked up by Lionsgate.
Lionsgate. Who owns Lionsgate then?
Lionsgate TV.
Like a service?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get here. It's being written by Chris Collins, who serves as showrunner. Other members of the team behind the film franchise that executive produce include Thunder Road Pictures, Basil Iwanek, Chad, John Wick franchise screenwriter Derek Colstans, along with Collins and David Leitch, will direct the premiere episode.
Interesting.
Well,
aside from the confusion of streaming services, because personally, I don't want too many more. I think right now it's a good setup we got going with Hulu and Netflix and Disney Plus, and there's Amazon
Peacock
Prime
coming out.
Peacock, I
think HBO Max.
Yeah, I know that Warner Brothers too. Are they putting everything on Prime? I know they had their own like DC Comics service, DC Universe or something like that. I don't know. Yeah. There's so many out there already. I'm like, all right, I don't need any more.
There is so much.
Yeah, John Wick, like in a show, would be rad because it's just pure
I'm
adrenaline.
assuming it's probably not going to focus on John Wick himself. It is. It does seem like it's going to be like a spin-off. It's called the Continental, so that's the place. Have you seen the John Wick movies? It's the hotel that pretty much everybody is like on even ground. Nobody's allowed to shoot anybody once they are set present. You know, if you've seen the movies, you know what that means. But basically, everybody's kind of just there to chill, unwind, and they are not allowed to draw any weapons or anything like that. So I mean, they can do so much with that, because that means that they can dabble with more of the other assassins that we're unaware of, because there has to be a whole bunch of different assassins in there, you know?
Yeah, if they had like a whole economy based in like a rule set on like a hotel specifically for that occupation.
I want this to be like a rated R type of TV show, though.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want this to be a PG-13 thing. I just don't want it to be cheesy. That's what it is. You know what I mean? Because I like John Wick for what it is. It is really good. I like the world of John Wick too.
Yeah. A lot of what makes John Wick is the direction of like the way that the action is so compelling, is that the camera's moving very well with the action and kind of just keeping you in the moment and having the energy of kind of almost the spontaneity of the fight. So if they don't do that well in the action sequences in the show and they shoot it more like just like a flat thing, I think no matter how well the visuals look, it would get kind of boring. But I don't know. I don't have a lot of high hopes as far as anything with John Wick, because to me, I think they're more just fun movies. Like they're not meant to be taken
it's definitely
any
like
seriousness. So
it's dumb fun, man. Like I enjoy it because of how entertaining it is. And it clearly doesn't take itself that serious. You know what I mean? Because they have fun with that.
It's like Die Hard.
Exactly.
It's a good time.
So next bit of news here. You has been renewed for season 3 on Netflix. Which I actually just brought up before we started the podcast.
Yes.
If he's ever seen the show, you haven't seen it. You haven't even heard of it.
No, I hadn't at all.
Okay. Yeah. So, I recently just barely started watching season 1. Like I saw one episode of season 1 because I was on Twitter and I've noticed that quite a few people were talking about season 2 of You. I'm like, why is this getting so much buzz? You know, it got me interested. All right, let's check it out. Watched the first episode and I was so uncomfortable, man, with this main character.
Weird.
His name is Joe. And yeah, man. This might be potentially, I'm not saying that we are, but potentially this could be something I would like to actually review because it is interesting. I don't want to spoil it for you.
Is it a rom-com kind of show, or is it like a Black Mirror?
No. It's not a Black Mirror. It's not a rom-com. It is definitely,
I have no idea what
a little
this
bit
is,
more, definitely something more on the serious side.
Oh, okay.
And you won't expect it. If I tease you anything, you're not gonna get the same reaction I got when I first started watching. Let's just say, go into it the way I did. I was thinking this show is gonna be like a romantic type of like.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting from like you.
That's what I was thinking. Exactly what it was. So go into it like that. Keep going into it like that. Okay. Keep thinking that's what it is.
I'm.
Yes,
see, now
it is an interesting show. I'm happy that it's got a season 3, and I've only watched one episode, guys, and I am hooked. I need to make the time today. I'm gonna relax, chill, maybe have some food, and after we're done filming here, I'm gonna watch some more You because
So it was a good experience then, because at first
it was it wasn't bad. I'm not saying it was bad. I'm just saying it just caught me really off guard and it made me feel uncomfortable. But movies that can make me feel that way, there's something good about it, right? There's something they're doing right.
Okay.
Because there's not quite a lot of films that make me feel like icky or weird.
At first it felt like when you were talking about like just go in there with that expectation. It sounded like almost like you had a gun on me and I had to walk into a field of landmines. After you just told me there's landmines out there, you're like, pretend it's a normal road. I'm like, what?
No landmines at all, buddy. Just go right in. Follow the yellow brick road. You're fine.
All right, cool. Yeah, I'll do that. That's cool.
Well, yeah,
it's got 3 seasons.
For all you for all you fans out there, season 3 has been officially been confirmed and it's been renewed for Netflix.
If it's been renewed for 3 seasons, there's something there. Like there's something that's at least watchable.
And I saw it just off of the first episode. That's the first episode. I see it. They have something really good there, and I hope it continues that same route that I'm expecting. So yeah, I like it. Okay. So far so good, and congrats to them, man. That's awesome. So the next bit of news here that I have is kind of a twofer because they're both Star Wars related.
Aha! If you weren't tired of Star Wars, buckle up.
We love Star Wars, you know that.
Yep.
Taika Watiti wants Mandalorian fans to petition to bring back IG-11, and this is his words. He says, "I feel we just need to start the petition because I think that character he held up the entire season, didn't he? Question mark. From episode 1 all the way through, he was the hero." What do you think?
I mean, it's a good character, but I don't know if I'd go so far as to say he's the...
See, this is the thing. Since this is put out through like a text form, it's hard to tell if he's being sarcastic or if he really if he's being playful. You know what I mean?
He has to be,
because if I'm the way I'm reading it, it's kind of like it sounds kind of like ignorant too. You know what I mean? Because it's just like my character was the best out of everyone's. Now, I believe that he's probably just, you know, he's excited and he wants the character to come back as like a reoccurring character on the show.
That'd be cool, because I know that there's a whole bunch of IGs. I know IG-88 was the one that like originally started everybody like loving that design, and so this one was IG-11. So there you go. There's a crap ton that he could come back, and it's reasonable to believe if he could voice him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like they can just make them come back as IG-25 or IG-13, 12, 11, whatever they want. Not 11, but you know, anything else.
Right.
And just have him voice over all the IGs. You know, he could be the voice of IG. That'd be cool. I'm down with that. You know what I mean? Obviously not about bringing back IG-11 specifically because spoiler alert,
but you guys should see Mandalorian by now.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it yet. But he blew the hell up, so I don't see him come back, man. But yeah.
I mean, honestly though, like it'd be kind of cool if he did another IG unit did come back, because it's not going to be the same one that was reprogrammed to be nice. It'll be a killer again. So that would be another
that's true. Yeah,
scenario where it would be like, oh god. And you'd have mixed feelings of like, I want him to be good, but we don't have the guy to reprogram him now.
Yeah, so, man. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. Honestly, yeah, I would dig that. And it's you know what too? My favorite parts from Mandalorian were when IG was in there. I just like the aspect of him being able to turn around and to shoot really cool. Things like, dude, yeah, because the final episode of Mandalorian, when he was doing that on the bike with Baby Yoda, that was really sick.
Yeah, it was intense.
That was really sick. Yeah, so I think it would be really nice to see him, you know, another IG come back and just have Taika, you know, go ahead and do the voice for it. I'm totally down.
Yeah.
Any other comments on this?
I mean, other than I hope he's joking about his like gravitas and importance in the show. Like, he's very cool and awesome, and I want more of him. But I don't think he's the linchpin of it all. But
yeah, I don't think he's the one that held the entire season. No, let's be completely honest here. The person that held the entire series was Baby Yoda. Yeah. That even brought in people that didn't even watch Star Wars. Was because they wanted to know, ooh, this is little baby creature about, you know?
Mandalorian, like Mando himself, is a very close second to Baby Yoda, because he just did a phenomenal job. But yeah, for sure, those two. But I'm down for him coming back in some form.
All right. Now, the next bit of Star Wars news is Baby Yoda is coming to Build-A-Bear. Yeah. Finally, some merchandise, you know? And the reason why I wanted to add this bit of news to the podcast was because yesterday I went to Star Wars, what is it? The Galaxy's Edge at Disneyland. Yeah, that's
what it's called, yeah.
And they barely had any merchandise for Mandalorian.
That
barely had anything. Yeah, they had a couple shirts, and that's it. Nothing like they had some phone cases, but no Baby Yoda plushies, no like Mandalorian hoodies, not like.
Imagine if they had a Mandalorian helmet, or
man,
like those would sell like hotcakes.
Mandalorian like popcorn thing container, like. Come on, like you have the IP there. I think Disney knows that they probably fucked up by not having ready like all these kinds of merch, because they're missing out on millions, dude.
Yeah,
I'm talking about millions.
I think the whole popularity of the Mandalorian, they had high expectations, but I think it was like expecting a grenade, and it was an atomic bomb.
Yeah,
and they were like, "Oh, we're not ready at all for this."
Yeah. I don't think they were ready for the popularity of it either, though.
Well, they should have been. I mean, but still, like that's
it's because you would think that they would be, but I guess they weren't. So that's really cool. Baby Yoda's coming to build the bear. I am gonna take my son to build the bear, and we're gonna build the Baby Yoda.
There you go.
It's gonna happen. I might even record this too, just for 100%. Podcast purposes.
Please
I think that'd be really fun. So yeah, Baby Yoda. Build-A-Bear, I'm all up for that. Let me go ahead and toss a bit of news. What do you have for us, and then you can give it to me.
Well, everybody's favorite Rock, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, is been cast in NBC's upcoming Young Rock show or series, which is going to be 11 episodes by, I don't know how to say, pardon me for not saying this person's name, or I'm going to do my best. Nanatachka Khan, but it's inspired by Dwayne The Rock Johnson's life. And so I don't know how they're really going to do that, because if he's casting it and everything, I know you said you had a theory, but other than that, I mean...
Yeah, so this is by NBC, right?
Yes, NBC's, yep.
NBC, okay. So from what I'm getting here is that I think The Rock is going to be like a narrator of his life. He's going to be on camera, like basically kind of like the, Everybody Hates Chris, and there's those other like shows where, How I Met Your Mother, where it's just like they kind of tell their life story. They sit in front of a camera, and then it flashbacks over to when he was young. So they're probably going to hire like a young actor playing The Rock when he was 11. All the way up until he goes into WWE, until he becomes an actor or something, because there's so much with this life that's very interesting, man.
Yeah, he went from
his whole like grandpa, his dad, his uncles, his cousins, they're all wrestlers, man. So he was in a house full of wrestlers. And not only that, but he lived. He didn't have he had a very challenging childhood too, from what he was, expressed over on his Instagram, his little stories here. So I think they have a lot to tell, and it's exciting, man.
I had no idea his family were wrestlers.
All of them.
That's cool, because I knew he did wrestling. My grandfather on my mom's side, right before he passed away, the last movie I saw with him was The Scorpion King, starring The Rock. Yeah. And he loved that movie because he was big into... I think it was WWF at the time,
and I think that was his first movie too.
Yeah, so like I've seen him when he first became an actor, I guess, and I liked him then, and I still like him now. And he's had such a successful career that it'd be kind of cool to see if it's going to be like a documentary style, kind of like just like these are the kind of biography facts. Then that'd be really cool. So I'd enjoy that.
No, I'm definitely down for that. I've always been a Rock fan. I followed him from the WWF days, aka WWE when they changed the name.
Right.
He's always been one of my favorite wrestlers, personality wise. He's just he's a loving, interesting person, man. Like a lot of people love him. There's rarely anything bad to say about him. He's such a lovable person. And not only that, but I feel like some people might think I'm crazy, but I feel like he's this day and age's Arnold Schwarzenegger.
100%.
What he was Arnold's 80s, like 80 era. Arnold was the fucking man, and you've seen him in every kinds of movies. Now The Rock, he's that. 100%. Right now.
Well, he's so charismatic. He's got the smile that melts any heart. To be honest, I mean, it's weird how charismatic the man is. And you like him. He can be intimidating, but he can also be really funny. Which he's got a good range of talents, which I think is going to help him a lot.
And his acting has gotten better over the years too.
Oh yeah. But I think his whole range from being friendly to bad is going to be a good thing that helps him with this next bit of news, which is the Shazam topic. They have announced that they're going to be filming Shazam very, very soon. And that's from Asher Angel, who I know has been working on the project. I know that he's been announced, and I believe he's signed on to play
Black Adam,
the villain of Shazam, which, as charismatic and all the praise we just gave The Rock, that's going to be awesome to see, because imagine him actually
as
being
a superhero or a villain like that. Yeah, he's been a villain before. I know he was a villain in Doom. I don't know if you remember that movie.
No.
Yeah. Not a very good movie, but I actually seen it recently. It's entertaining for like a laugh.
Okay.
Because of how ridiculous it is.
I saw the
beginning, majority of the movie, he's a good guy, but then he becomes a villain, and you can kind of see it there. Like, he has it. But this, I'm excited, man. I don't know if he's gonna be the villain for Shazam 2, but he and Shazam have like a big thing against each other that eventually we might get a Shazam versus Black Adam movie.
Well, I genuinely think Shazam 2 is going to be that, because Black Adam,
because he's going to get his own standalone movie as Black Adam.
Oh, I didn't know that. Well, I know that like Black Adam as a character, he was the original champion of the Wizard Shazam. Yes. And the power went to his head, and he basically was like, I'm a god. And then like the wizard was like, oh god, I didn't mean for this. And so he had to cast him, in the comic books at least, like billions of light years away.
Oh, yeah.
That's how he solved it. And so the whole time Black Adam was like basically flying back and all this other stuff. And then he meets up with the new champion. He's all like, you're trash compared to me. And that it's a whole thing with that. So I'd be interested to see how they approach it.
Honestly, that would work as a Shazam 2, man. Damn, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Not only that, but like he don't need to work out. This man is built.
He's already there.
He's already there, you know? He's good. Yeah, man. I'm excited for that.
And even if they wanted to have a cameo, I know that Henry Cavill has said that he's not done with Superman. If he somehow makes a cameo, like actually there in Shazam 2, what's cool with that is that Shazam and Black Adam, they're magic based. And so that is one of the weaknesses of Superman, which we don't get to see Superman be weak to anything but kryptonite often. So that would be really cool to see as well. But that's just me kind of nerding out.
Yeah, that's how the first Shazam ended. Spoiler alert, if you guys haven't seen it yet. We don't see Henry Cavill, but we see the bottom half underneath his face. That Superman does make an appearance in Shazam 1, and I was like, holy shit. And that's pretty much how it ends too. Holy shit. And it's cut that dude, which is fucking awesome.
Yeah, man.
So yeah, I honestly, I want Henry Cavill to still stay casted as Superman. If Gal Gadot can stay as Wonder Woman, then Henry Cavill can stay as Superman.
100%, yes.
Because I just think that the whole fucking like Justice League debacle kind of ruined a lot of things, put a lot of bad taste in people's mouths, because I think studio hands were all over that fucking film, and it just ruined everything. You know what I mean? So hopefully he gets another Superman movie, and he's put into a lot of those other films, because I think he's a good cast for Superman. Yeah,
I like a lot of the cast. One member, you mentioned Justice League. One member of the Justice League that I thought got a lot more hate than that surprised me how much people were like, yeah, he was okay or annoying, was Ezra Miller as Flash. He was really, I thought, decent. I thought he was kind of cool. I liked him. He was kind of quirky, which I don't really know that much about the way he's going to be portraying the character, but I think it's got definitely potential. And so the third topic that I'm doing, I'm trying to do nice, easy transitions. I'll stop saying that and calling it out that I'm doing it, because otherwise it kind of ruins it. But regardless, Andy Muschietti has said that the Flash film will focus on a, quote, different version of Flashpoint than you're expecting, end quote. So,
nice.
Are you familiar at all with the Flashpoint storyline or comic book or anything like that?
I've a little bit here and there. I've heard that there's a Flashpoint. I don't know if is there only one Flashpoint storyline?
Well, there was the original comic book point. So like in the comics, Flashpoint is the whole reason DC Comics did a whole big reboot called the New 52 and all this other stuff.
Okay,
like shit went down in the comic books. Mm-hmm. They did a animated movie of the Flashpoint paradox, which kind of kicked off that new animated style. That's kind of so like basically made for adults.
From what I understood, it's kind of like a butterfly effect type of movie where shit changed because he did something.
Yeah,
correct?
Yeah, he accidentally basically changes something in the past. Like he taps into that to the point that he goes so quick. I don't know how comics work, but bear with me. Basically, he runs so quickly that he messes with time and changes a small detail. I won't say what the detail is, because I think it's worthwhile to not know. And then when he changes that detail, everything from that, it's like Until Dawn on crack, like you said, the butterfly effect. Things are all topsy-turvy. I mean, you have like Thomas Wayne is alive
as Batman, right? And as Batman, yeah.
Yeah, and so like there's a whole bit of stuff with that's kind of cool and fun to explore. But if he says that it's a different version of Flashpoint than we're expecting, that's kind of him saying, I'm going to take it and do my own thing with it, which there's no way to predict. So I'm curious but cautious because who knows?
We'll see, man. And this is going to be, I think, his first superhero movie too. So I don't know what to expect. He did great in the whole It movies. I love them. They were fun. They're fun to watch, especially the first one.
Yeah, I know that the second one was reviewed a lot less than the first one, but I can, on hindsight, see why. And I agree with a lot of the different points that they point out. I still love them very, very much. They're some of my favorites. But as far as capturing such a, dare I say, pardon me, Stephen King, a crackhead description of what happens, because he did crack when he wrote that book. And he did it really well in bringing it to the screen. So if it's a wild concept like Flashpoint,
not only that, he did a pretty good job of casting too. So I'm not doubting his casting abilities for the characters he wants to appear in that movie. So we'll
I have high hopes with that. Andy Muschietti's also set to direct a remake of The Howling on Netflix.
Yeah, I heard about that one.
Is something I have never watched or heard of too much, and so I'm going to rely on your expertise.
Yeah, so The Howling was released in '81. I wasn't born in '81. I was born in '89, but I watched I watched the movie like in the early '90s. And it's considered a drama / fantasy, but that shit is kind of like horror. So
The Howling sounds kind of ominous by the
werewolf.
Name.
Werewolf. Yeah.
Is it about a werewolf or?
Yes. So basically, I can read you the synopsis real quick of the original. In Los Angeles, television journalist Karen White D. Wallace is traumatized in the course of aiding the police in their arrest of a serial murderer. Her doctor recommends that she attend an isolated psychiatric retreat led by Dr. Gregory or George Wagner. But while Karen is ongoing therapy, her colleague Chris investigates the bizarre circumstances surrounding her shock. When his work leads him to suspect a supernatural, he begins to fear for Karen's life.
Interesting for sure.
Yeah.
I'm down.
So,
I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm down. I mean, for Netflix too. So I am thinking this is gonna be hard R, dude, because the movie was rated R. It was rated R.
Yeah.
So for Netflix, they, the money that they invest into a lot of their, originals and stuff like that. Because I'm assuming it's gonna be a Netflix originals.
Oh yeah. I mean, they've been hitting it out of the park with movies and series. I know, like The Haunting of Hill House, Stranger Things are some of my favorite. I guess you could classify.
And I'm assuming this is probably going to be like, they're probably going to change a lot. I don't think they're going to follow the same premise of the film, but yeah,
there's potential.
The name, The Howling, is going to draw people in because this movie is it's pretty good. I liked it
for sure. And Andy Muschietti being set as the director, he did such a good job with it, like we said, and that's a horror movie, so that's almost no brainer for him to tackle another horror project. So that's exciting.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty cool. So I got some news for you.
Okay.
Next one that we got, since it is kind of horror related. Well, no, this is horror related to the other one.
Okay.
Don Mancini, which is the original director / writer of Chucky. You remember Child's Play, Chucky?
Yep.
His reboot. He has a reboot show that is beginning straight to series order by Syfy. So it is going to be on Syfy, which
I haven't watched Syfy Channel in a long time.
Yeah, I haven't either. I don't know if they're gonna have like a streaming service. I would have doubted, man. Just because I don't really watch TV anymore. You know what I mean? Like it's I'm usually watching Netflix or just stuff on the internet. So I don't know. I mean, how I feel about this. We have
YouTube TV, which we really like because it's how the price of it for what it offers, and Syfy's on there. So I mean,
it is okay.
For that, I'd definitely give it a try out because I remember the Chucky series. I only really watched. What's the one where he gets his wife? Like, is it the sequel?
Bride of Chucky.
Which one is that? In
that order? Is considered the fourth one.
Okay, I never saw that one. I saw 1 through 3 then.
Okay,
but that's when I was real little.
I was about to be a little upset. I was about to be a little upset. I'm like, don't tell me that the first one he saw was Bride of Chucky.
No. Yeah, no, I saw the first 3 and that's it. And those fucked me up because I was a little kid. And like, hell no. Because my grandma, whenever we go visit her for like the holidays, she lives like 4 hours away, my dad's mom. And she has the kids' room in the very back of her house. And it's got a bunch of those old porcelain dolls and Barbie dolls surrounding all the walls. And I just watched Chucky for the first time, and then we had to go, and I had to sleep in that room. Not a wink. Not a wink of sleep. So,
yeah, I wouldn't have slept either for sure, man. But this whole Chucky thing is, I love the original 3, right? The first 2, the best. Those are hands down. I love them. I think the first one, I want them to make a movie more related to the first one in terms of like style and everything, because in the first one, first like half of the film, it was very like it was scary as hell because they never showed him. It was just basically Andy telling people that, hey, this doll's alive, and they were seeing him as like he's fucking nuts. You know, this kid's something's wrong with him, you know? Because, you know, there's no way this doll's alive, but you will see like little tidbits of doors opening or little feet walking, but you never see the doll until like the third half of the film, where that's when you start to see like, oh shit, like he wasn't lying.
Yeah, it's not just a kid going crazy.
Yeah, I want the film and the show, if it is going to be anything, to be more like the original, man, where it's because it lost its charm after the second one, just because it started to become more jokes, started to be more funny.
Yeah, I mean,
and I've watched all of them. I don't know why. I'm just a sucker because I like the character, and I've watched every single one. I even saw the reboot with Mark Hamill, and I was staying hopeful with that one, but that still didn't even do it for me, man. Because the doll for that one looked disgusting,
dude. I kind of like that one on a weird level, just because. I don't know. Mark Hamill, I adore Mark Hamill, and hearing his voice, and he would go from being like sweet Mark Hamill to a little bit of his Joker voice. And I was just like, I'm there for that. But it doesn't hold a candle ultimately to the original one, because that one was voiced, I do not know his name, but he, in Lord of the Rings, if you know Lord of the Rings, he's Grima Wormtongue. The really obviously bad, deceitful dude. But anyway, I
don't know if he's the person you're referring to is, I believe his name is, oh god, I had it in my head right here. Let me see if I can find the
well, I know he may not made the voice, but I know he was the evil dude who actually possessed the doll. But yeah, as far as this being a thing, I know that the original creator of Chucky, I guess, didn't like where they were going with the reboot that they recently did?
Brad Dourif. Oh my god, I don't know why I blanked out. His name is Brad Dourif. Brad Dourif has an amazing fucking voice, man. Very unique. Even in the Lord of the Rings too. Like I couldn't not stop picturing Chucky.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why. It's just his voice is so iconic, dude.
Yeah.
I believe he's actually supposed to be coming back as the original Chucky voice for the series.
That'd be really cool. I know that.
Yes, coming back for that.
The original creator of that original series didn't like the direction that this new reboot had taken.
Which is confusing for people, and it is going to be confusing for people because this has nothing relation to the movie with Mark Hamill. This is following basically the original film. Right. So this is like a continuation to those.
Yeah.
But then
again, from what I've read, that original creator, I can't remember his name. What was it again?
Don Mancini.
Yeah. He was kind of also the orchestrating hand behind those other sequels that you didn't necessarily like. So who knows what this is going to be, really?
We'll see how it's like, man. I just don't like the fact that it's on Syfy. I kind of wish it was like somebody else bought it, like Netflix or Hulu or something. You know what I mean? But we'll see. I'm staying hopeful. I still love the character, and I'm probably more than likely still gonna watch it because I'm a sucker. So there's that.
It's nostalgia points.
Yeah. All right. So the next bit of news here I have is by John Cho, the actor.
Okay. I like it.
If you're not aware of, basically he's been casted as Spike in the original animated series of Cowboy Bebop.
Yep.
Have you ever watched Cowboy Bebop before?
Just the guilt. It's gonna come over me. I haven't seen Cowboy Bebop ever. I've heard praise for years and
my
years.
heart, dude. It's probably one of my favorite animes of all time.
I
dude.
know everyone says that, and I just haven't.
And especially because I there's a lot of. Did you like? Okay, let me ask you this. Do you like Blade Runner?
I wasn't a huge fan. I did like it, but I wasn't a huge fan of the first one. Mm-hmm. I liked the newer one surprisingly more, and I guess that just because the visuals were a little bit better. But
this has little tidbits of Blade Runner and some Star Wars feel to it, and I think you really might enjoy it.
Okay, because you said it was about bounty hunter, right?
Really? Yes, he's a bounty hunter. And he has a group of friends and stuff, and I don't want to spoil it too much, man. I honestly think you should watch this going into a blind, and you will enjoy it. So, anyways, John Cho is set to be playing the live action. He's a lead role in the live action movie, and unfortunately, he was in an accident recently and doing the film on set, and they put it on hold, right? And so his comments were that John Cho still hasn't spoken to Cowboy Bebop's original director, so he doesn't even know what's going on with that. If it's still gonna go on, or if they just gonna indefinitely
Well, they shouldn't indefinitely, because I mean that'd be a shame.
No, I know. Man, I feel like really weird with live action animes. You know what I mean? Because a majority of them have not been great at all.
Did you ever watch the atrocious adaptation on Netflix of Death Note?
Dude, I only watched 20 minutes of it and I turned that shit off. That's how bad it was. And not even William Dafoe can keep that fucking film going.
He was the best part, and even his part was just poorly done. Like, I love Death Note a lot. At least the first bit. Like, you know what I'm talking about if you've seen it. Like,
have you watched the anime though?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Okay.
I love the original anime. I've never read the original manga, but as far as the anime goes, that was such a binging show for me. Like I couldn't stop. I couldn't put it down. It was fascinating. The way that went out was horrible. So I 100% understand. There's a bit of like almost like video game movie juju with anime adaptations, where you're just like,
yeah, man.
I hope it's good. But
see, this is the thing with anime shows and video games, right? I'm gonna go back to my comments, what I said in the previous podcast before. Some of these stuff, the stories that they want to tell needs to be put into a series, a live action series, instead of a film, because they're trying to include so much information and so much lore into one movie that could possibly is only going to go on for like an hour and 30 minutes, and it ends up feeling rushed and feeling like shit.
Yeah. and respect the original material too. Like there's a reason it's successful. It's because it's good. So changing it, tweaking it, making it your new weird world version or whatever, don't. Just do a good job at adapting the original material.
Exactly, man.
So yeah,
it's very unfortunate. I hope that it still continues to go, because I would, regardless, even if it's bad, I'm gonna watch it because I love Cowboy Bebop, man, and more people should watch it. If you guys like Blade Runner, if you guys like, the visuals that has, imagine watching that like an anime form. And this has it, dude. And not only that, but it has some of the greatest, and I mean this, voice acting.
Oh wow,
you need to watch it, man. It is, the voice act is fucking clean. I loved it. But yeah, it's unfortunate. Hopefully everything comes out okay, and hopefully John Cho recovers, because that sucks, dude.
I like him as an actor too, so I want to see him in a lot of different
developed things. Like, he's definitely gotten better as an actor, man. I don't see him now as just Harold from Harold and Kumar. Which is kind of bad to say that was the role. That was the defining role that most people see him as now, is Harold from Harold and Kumar.
Well, it's kind of like with Chris Pratt, how he almost couldn't outgrow his shadow from Parks and Rec until he was Star-Lord. So I mean,
Star-Lord, yep.
This could be that.
Sometimes they need that role. Yeah, that one role. But all right, let me go ahead and toss it back over to you while I give you my last three after.
Okay. All right. Well, hopefully you guys have seen the trailer for the new movie Morbius starring Jared Leto, because there's some exciting stuff and possibilities with that, including J.K. Simmons is reportedly set to appear as J. Jonah Jameson in the movie, with Spider-Man also reportedly said to be referenced with wanted posters for the web slinger seen in the film. And since we've seen the trailer now, we know that it's like confirmed that it's set, at least I guess after Far From Home. Because there's a cameo of a cool character from
right. If you guys
Homecoming.
haven't seen the trailer yet, or if you haven't seen my reaction to it, be sure to go check that out, please.
Yes.
Because there is a nice little thing at the very end. So you guys should pause this here, go watch that, and that way you guys can know what we're talking about.
Yes.
Go ahead, continue.
So the Vulture is there, dressed in the same.
Your boy Michael Keaton.
Yes, Michael Keaton, Batman, Vulture. He's got a thing for being avian creatures,
right?
But he's there, and I hope. This is where I will get upset if that's just like a teaser little moment and a tiny little cameo or the end credits scene in the trailer for some reason. I won't be happy with that, because I think that
I wouldn't either.
But hopefully he's like actually in it, because that sets it like firmly. This is connected, which is cool. And at the beginning of the trailer, don't they mention like from the studio that brought you the two Spider-Man Tom Holland
and
ones?
Venom,
and Venom. Which do you think that means now Venom is also tied in somehow?
Well, they've said that it is, but they don't want to they don't want to set it in stone that yes it is, because anything could happen. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man. The trailer for me was pretty good. I enjoyed it. I was really excited about it. It just threw me off because that whole wanted poster thing. It wasn't even a It wasn't even a wanted poster. It was a poster of Spider-Man, and then someone spray painted murderer. So that kind of led me to believe, okay, it is taking place after Far From Home. But the poster of the Spider-Man that was on there wasn't even Tom Holland's. It was Sam Raimi's, Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. So as you're watching this trailer, it's confusing because it's just like, wait, what? Because that's the glimpse that you see first. It's like he's walking down the alleyway, and then you see the poster in the background, and it says murder. We're like, wait, what? It's confusing. Why is that not Tom Holland's? And then at the very end, that's where you get Michael Keaton. So Michael Keaton being there, and hopefully he's playing the Vulture, because that would suck if Michael Keaton's just there and he's playing a different character.
I'm willing to put money on the fact that he's playing the Vulture, because he's wearing
yes.
He's wearing the exact same costume from the other one.
Yeah.
The fact that that's Sam Raimi's Spider-Man
It's a little weird, right?
I'm hopeful. I don't know. I'm a geeky nerd. Mm-hmm. Spider-Verse is a thing. They did a really good job in the animated movie of Into the Spider-Verse. Mm-hmm. I think it'd be cool as hell for Tobey Maguire Spider-Man somehow to be involved and like have a moment of crossover where, dude, yes, please. I don't know how you feel about that Spider-Man possibly like showing up. Because
not in this movie. I wouldn't want him to be here in this movie. No, not in this one. If they're gonna bring back Tobey Maguire, they better do him justice and put him in something a lot more bigger.
True. Yeah. Well, I forget that it's Morbius. I started going like this whole thing. Right? Yeah. I see that. Yeah.
It's Morbius. It's Morbius.
Yeah. Yeah. Which,
but my theory is that I think the reason why they use that Spider-Man as the poster was because they probably didn't want to pay Disney or Marvel X amount of cash to use a picture of Tom Holland Spider-Man up there. Yeah. So they were like, let's just put up, this Spider-Man, but to kind of confirm that it's taking place in this universe, that we're going to include Michael Keaton at the end. So that way it's like, oh, okay. But it's confusing. Like, why would they do that? They didn't even have to add the poster. They could have just added Michael Keaton, and that would have been completely fine. That would have been like, whoa.
Yeah. I think that you're more than likely correct. But
I know. Trust. I want Spider-Verse live action movie of Spider-Verse, and I want there to include Andrew Garfield Spider-Man.
That'd be cool.
I want them to include Tom Holland, and then even have Tom Holland pass the torch eventually to Miles Morales, because that's the next Spider-Man I want.
They've hinted at him already in the MCU. Donald Glover's character is the Panther kind of character.
Yeah, he's the uncle of Miles. So hopefully
that'd be cool. But yes. J.K. Simmons being back as J. Jonah Jameson is something I never knew would happen again until that movie and that moment.
Right. I don't want to say nobody, but he is just a perfect spot on casting for that character, dude.
It's so good. I think out of the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies, some of the most iconic scenes to me are J. Jonah Jameson's moments.
Yeah.
He just nails it. And so him being back as the character is something I'm head over heels for.
That was my favorite thing from Far From Home too, is that last little bit of cameo. I'm like, oh my god. I lost my shit. It was so good.
Yeah. Now for some sad news for Marvel, because it's been a rough week for the MCU, aside from that nice little bit. Scott Derrickson will no longer direct Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, but will remain as executive producer on the film. We just talked about how Kevin Feige's confident and happy with how things are going to go, and now...
Yeah, dude. This is such a fucking mess, Hopefully they find another director soon. I think there's rumors of that they found another one, but that hasn't been set in stone yet. That hey, this is the person that's directing now. Yeah, man. I want this movie to be great, and I have so much potential. Even from the name of it, the Multiverse of Madness, like they can do so much with that.
Yeah, I'm looking at the actual Twitter post talking about it, and someone actually has a timeline set out. In July of 2019, Scott Derrickson said, we're going to make the very first scary MCU film. In December of 2019, he said the studio release dates are the enemy of art. And also December, Feige said that the movie won't be scary, we'll just have scary moments, which is something we talked about. And then now in January, Scott and Marvel have parted ways as far as direction. So I think
they probably didn't want to make it too scary, or the vision that he didn't want it to be as scary because, just in case if you guys don't know, all you grown men or ladies out there that are not aware, but these movies are technically made for kids.
Technically, yes.
They do not cater for us old ass people. They cater towards little kids, because those are the kids that are gonna go to Disneyland once they open up that whole Marvel theme park section, and buy the toys. And that's who they're catering towards, you know?
Yeah.
So I think, studio hands got all over his vision, and he's probably like, fuck you guys, you know?
Yeah, I have mixed feelings about it. Ultimately, I kind of side with, I guess
the selfish part of me, like, I want a horror movie, MCU horror movie. Fuck yeah, that'd be amazing. Yeah. But is it gonna happen? No, of course not. Come on.
Right, and I kind of side with Disney a little bit on that, just because, again, like if for some reason you have a lot of different folks who wouldn't ever watch a horror movie, they might stray away because it's a horror centric movie. So I'm open to what they do. I trust Marvel. They've really proven themselves.
Yeah, no, I trust them too.
Hand over fist. So I mean, like, this could be a blessing in disguise. We don't know. Only time will tell. But like, it's still worrisome. So just kind of hoping for the best. But that's
I'm staying. It's a little worrying because there's no director right now, so it's on hold. And I just want this movie to be what I'm being hopeful for, because I didn't really like the first Doctor Strange movie. Like, I did, but there's a lot of things that kind of it felt rushed for me.
Really? Okay.
Like, for me, the whole training process of him becoming Doctor Strange was very short. He became Doctor Strange way too damn quick.
Well, I think in the first movie, I don't think he's ever really a master of it all. I think that the whole point where he's actually gotten really good at magic, we have never seen, because it's in between that and Thor Ragnarok, where he's got the golden gloves and he's actually just tossing Thor around everywhere, that he's awesomeness. So there is a hidden timeline here, but at that same point, he could have done some Dragon Ball Z, that room, what's it called, where they're in the room for a year, but it's only been an hour.
The training facility,
because he had the time stone. So I mean, he could have just looped it until he was perfect at everything. But
I said, I hope I just want this. I want this movie to succeed and be, the great thing that I have, in my head, that there's so much that they can do with multiverse and bringing new characters and taking out some old ones, and I don't know, man. So this sucks, but at the same time, hopefully we trust in Marvel, and they'll come through.
It's a speed bump. It didn't derail the ship. It didn't derail the car, for sure.
Yeah.
So
they have a vision and they have a plan of where they're gonna go.
Yeah. So I have 3 other topics. Did you want to cover any more of yours before I continue on to?
I have about 2 or 3.
Okay.
So let me go ahead and finish these off. So the next one that I have here is Donal Glover's Atlanta will return in 2021 with season 3 and 4. The upcoming seasons will be considered part 1 and 2 for a new era of the show, with the release dates in January and fall 2021. Stay tuned for updates.
I don't know if I remember.
Have you ever seen the show?
Is it common for a series to get 2 seasons, not even made or in production yet, 3 and 4, 2 seasons immediately approved?
Yeah, no, not like that.
That speaks volumes of confidence.
No, it does. It does, man. And have you seen Donal Glover's Atlanta, just out of curiosity?
I've seen bits, but not enough to be at all worthy of giving a point on it.
I think the first season was fucking incredible, man. And it took them a good minute for them to actually film season 2. There was a good time period of where they took a huge break. It was almost like a year and a half, almost 2 years, I think, until they released season 2. And then now season 3 and 4 are coming. So that excites me that they already have a plan of okay, we're going to do 3 and we're going to do 4. Because before it's okay, when's season 2 coming? We're waiting. I love this show a lot. I really do. I dig it. There's so much, I don't explain exactly the type of show for people that have never seen it before, but it is serious in tone, but at the same time, it is very funny.
Well, David Glover is a really talented man. I know he did stand-up. He's done excellent music, and he's a really good actor. So, I mean, is he still pretty involved with the whole writing?
Yeah, I think he's the writer / director of this.
Then this is.
wait. You know what? I don't know if he's directed, but I know he writes it. I want to say he does direct, but he's also starring in the show too. He stars in it.
It's set up to just soar. I mean, he's fantastic in almost everything I've seen him do. I mean, he's made me laugh really hard, and he's shocked me. Like his "This Is America" music video, I was blown away by that when I first saw that. So
he also has another movie out called I believe it's called Guava Island, and that's on Amazon. So if you guys have Amazon Prime, you can watch that movie for free. And it's a short movie. It's like 45 minutes long, and it's actually really good too. That one's he did a fantastic job on that.
That's excellent.
So you guys should definitely check that out. Yeah. So yeah, I'm excited for season 3 and 4. Honestly, I think if you guys have not checked out Atlanta, check it out. It's about an upcoming rapper. And then his cousin is pretty much the manager that is played by Donal Glover, and they go through like different events, funny scenarios, and some of them are like, I don't explain it, man. It is funny as hell. It is really, really, really funny. I think you guys will really enjoy it if you guys are into hip hop, because there's a lot of hip hop references. Not only that, but he's pretty much made his own universe of characters, because there's an episode in this show where Justin Bieber comes out, right? Justin Bieber, but it's not Justin Bieber himself. It's a black kid playing Justin Bieber. And that was like controversial because it's like, wait, what? That's not Justin Bieber, but it's his version and his interpretation of Justin Bieber. So he has little unique characters like that in this show that stand out in moments like that.
Do you say,
oh my?
Do you say Bieber or Beaver?
Beaver, like as in like a beaver,
like the animal.
Yeah, is it?
It's Bieber.
Is it? I always thought it was beaver. Like he's like a beaver.
Dude, I was like, are you doing that on purpose? Like, it's Bieber.
Just Beaver. Yeah, it sounds like a beaver, like a beaver to me. But yeah.
Okay, so
you're right. I know you're trying to get it right.
I was just like, what? Dude, I love you, man. You're great. That's fantastic. That's cool though. Like
that's fucking hilarious.
I tried not to make attention to it, but he kept saying it, so I was like, I gotta ask him this.
JB, I was just gonna say JB. No, but yeah. So he has like little unique characters like that. He has a character that's kind of molded and supposed to look kind of like Michael Jackson in season 2. That is very iconic, and even that specific character made a cameo in the Oscars, almost kind of like making it seem like he's like a real person. Cool. So yeah, he has like a unique vision.
That's very mind twisty. I like that.
Yes.
Screw it.
Dude, I'm telling you, the show is very unique. Like it sounds like it's probably like just like a generic movie or whatever, just like an upcoming artist, putting out music or whatever. But no, there's more to it that I think will surprise the hell out of you. Right. But yeah, so that's the good news about Atlanta. We're gonna go ahead and move on to my last two, which are Marvel related, which we unfortunately have another bad Marvel.
Yeah, dude, it's been a rough week for him.
Actually, two kind of bad ones. Yeah. The other one, yeah. So the first one is the Falcon and the Winter Soldier have halted production in Puerto Rico. So unfortunately, there has been 6.4 earthquake last week, and followed by a 5.9 earthquake over the weekend.
That's scary. That's not fun. And that's in Puerto Rico, you said? That's in Puerto Rico,
yeah. Man, I can't say Puerto Rico. I gotta say Puerto Rico.
Sorry, I'm from the Midwest, so like
from my Spanish people.
I'm sorry. That's. I'm so sad about everything. Like Australia's on fire. There's earthquakes. Like I just wish the best for all those people who get involved and are unable to get out of the way or caught up in all these things. So my heart goes out to the people. I know that does nothing, and it's very just kind of. That's all I can say. But on a selfish point of view, it sucks that the show has been put on hold. But 100% understandable because. these things happen, and earthquakes should be taken seriously. I mean, I've never really had to deal with them too much, but I know in California, that's like common.
Yeah, earthquakes happen here all the time, man. I'm not saying like they happen every weekend or anything like that, but like they happen quite often here. Yeah. There's even I actually there was an earthquake when I was live streaming one time on Twitch, and I caught it like on live stream, and people were like, "What the heck is going on over there?" I was like, "This is an earthquake, man!" Like you see my monitor shaking, and it's just like they're no joke, dude. And 6.4 that's scary, man. So they probably wanted to make sure that everyone is safe. You know, they don't want to put their actors in danger or anything like that. So
because ultimately this is, as much as we get passionate as fans talking about like, my character is ruined now and all this other garbage, people they no reason to put their lives on the line for something of entertainment. So 100%.
Yeah, I'm okay with them halting it. That's a good reason, you know. That's perfectly good reason. Make sure that everything's cool, everything's settled, that they feel comfortable enough to want to still film in Puerto Rico, then you know they will. But if they don't, they want to change locations just to be safe, then do that, because that's not worth it, you know. So unfortunate that Falcon and Winter Soldier are on hold. Do you have any thoughts about the show though? Are you excited for this show?
Here's the thing, man. At the end, well, obviously spoilers. I mean, this is just the podcast. There's spoilers everywhere. Watch out. But at the end of Endgame, when Captain America's old and he hands off the shield, I, up until the very last moment, was like, Bucky's going to get the shield. I was like, he's been there since day one. He's his best.
I thought he was too. I was convinced.
Falcon actually is the one he gives it to. And I was like, what? And so I think this show was them like figuring out who their dynamic, working together, and who actually is deserving of the shield. I don't know. I know that what's his name? He was in Civil War. He was the villain in Civil War. Zemo. He was supposed to come back for this series and actually wear like the full comic book outfit where it looks like
he is coming back for the series, right? Yeah.
So that was something I was really looking forward to as well. So I have the highest hope for the series. I just can't wait for it to get back and everything like that. But I think it's going to be a killer show.
Yeah.
So
I think it definitely has potential. Definitely excited. I like both characters, honestly, and their banter between each other, like their humor mixed really well in I believe it was Civil War.
Yeah, he's like, I hate you. Please shut up or something.
Yeah, I saw like the chemistry was there, man. Like, so yeah, I'm excited. We'll see, you know, if and when it actually, you know, goes back into production and they start filming again, hopefully, and we'll get to see this stuff on Disney Plus. So yeah, more Marvel Disney Plus stuff. Happy for it.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, I do have another bit of bad news.
This one is a little harder to see in a positive light.
But there might be some positive light here, right? There might be some positive light, only because the last time I checked this bit of news, the tweet got taken down. So maybe Disney's like, don't start, you know, putting out this news source if we haven't said anything ourselves. So I don't know. This exclusive? Is as of right now, this is kind of like rumor, I guess. But the last tweet that I saw was the Disney Plus's Hawkeye series. Hawkeye was supposed to get his own series. Has reportedly been postponed indefinitely. That's basically canceled.
Yeah, I mean, that's what that means. I mean, that means it's been scrapped. There's something gone wrong or something like that.
So when I click on this link that I found, and I tried to find multiple sources, I couldn't find it. Like I couldn't find it anymore. So hopefully it was just it's just a prank, guys. You know, it's not even canceled. False alarm. We're good.
Because wasn't that show supposed to be him, I guess, training, was it his daughter or a new archer person? Because I know
it's supposed to be his daughter. Him and his daughter are probably going to go on missions and stuff together and stuff.
Which that would have been really cool to see.
Yeah, honestly, man.
Because I love Hawkeye. Really Jeremy Renner. He's fun. I know a lot of people like to kick him around because they're like, look at these heroes on this team. And then you have guy with bow. But but he's a cool character. When he went full Ronin,
to be honest with you, I liked Hawkeye's character over Black Widow.
Wow. Okay.
I personally do. I like his character. Black Widow, I actually like her the most in the last film, Endgame.
Okay.
I liked her in that one. Her performance in that one too was like really fucking good. Scarlett Johansson killed it. The other ones is just kind of like I didn't really care for her character that much. You know, it was just kind of whatever's. But the last one kind of convinced me. Okay, she's got it. But I've always liked Hawkeye's character in the comic books, and in whatever he appeared in a cartoon series or in the movies, the live action.
Right.
And it was played by Jeremy Renner, right?
Yep.
Yeah, Jeremy Renner did a phenomenal job, especially like what you're about to mention right now, which was in the Avengers, right? The first Avengers movie?
With that, well, I mean, across the board, he's done really, really well. I remember I didn't even catch that he was in Thor until I saw Avengers, and they were like, oh yeah, and he mentioned how he knew him, so I had to go back and watch Thor, and I'm like, he was there. What? And because he played it so calm and subtle, which is perfect for the character. It wasn't like in your face, like, haha, look at my bow. But what he did, like in Avengers, of him like not even looking and then firing the bow, and it was so cool. So I think he's got a lot of potential. And his moment with his daughter in Endgame of teaching her how to shoot the bow, that was so good. So I hope that this is just, kidding, didn't mean to post that. Typo.
No, seriously, I hope so too. And I heard that they were gonna touch on him, like I think maybe like the first couple episodes of the first episode, they were supposed to touch on him being Ronin.
Dude.
So him as like the ninja outfit and stuff, like going on those missions.
That was
because there's like a big like
it was a 5-year jump in
period, you know, that he probably did his, you know, bounty hunting, you know, that's what it looked like he was doing. He was going on, you know, he's assassinating all these people that, you know, was getting paid to do.
He was ripping through people.
I would love to see, man, that would have been perfect to see on Disney Plus. But
because I mean, you even have the potential of like in that 5-year gap, he could have made enemies.
Yeah, exactly.
That would be coming back now, and we get kind of flashbacks. Like, there's potential with it, so I really do hope it comes back.
Because they didn't do that whole Ronin character justice, like when he was doing that. You know,
it was very short-lived.
It was just the beginning part. That was it, and then like okay, like what was the
cool,
whole point of having? It was cool. It was badass. Yeah, but they needed to add in more. So unfortunately, hopefully that is just like a JK. But we'll have to wait and see, man. We'll see what Disney tells us.
Yep.
Any more news for you?
Yeah, I got 3 more things. We told you guys it's a lot of news. So Lord of the Rings is something I hold very, very dear to my heart. Amazon acquired the rights to do at the time in 2018 a Lord of the Rings project on their own thing, and it was unclear how everything went down with that. Over the years that we've had now, it's come out that it's going to be set during a specific time period, which we'll get into in a minute. But today, which they on Twitter and then also through their own little websites, announced a main cast for the series with a lot of actors that I don't know. There's a lot of unknown faces there, which is personally, I think, a good thing, because all too often you can get actors who are so iconic that you can't see past the actor.
Yeah. I feel that same way.
Will Smith is a good example. I love him. I think he's awesome. But I always see Will Smith before whatever character he's playing, with a few exceptions. Pursuit of Happiness being one of those. But as far as the Tolkien estate and the whole idea of doing this whole series on Amazon, I am so avidly excited for that. I know that maybe not a lot of you guys are, but if you don't know anything about me, know one thing. Like Lord of the Rings, Tolkien as a whole is one of my all-time favorite pieces of content, and to have such a huge cast just be dropped on Twitter like that, and they're like, this is just a taste of what we have coming, with a budget of reportedly $10 million per episode out the gate,
episode, dude,
with a lot of episodes for it to be set in the
it sounds like Amazon is putting all their chips towards this fucking show, man.
Oh yeah, it's set during the Second Age. Specifically, if you're a big nerd, this isn't going to be too bad of a hint. I won't say too many details, but it has to do with Sauron. He was the guy with the big fiery eye in Lord of the Rings.
Mm-hmm.
He's in a very fair-looking form and everything like that, and he works with a certain member of the Elven race, and basically forges the rings of power that you hear about in the intro sequence of the Lord of the Rings movies.
So this is all prequel, right? All prequel?
Pretty much. I mean, it's Second Age. This is before even like Gandalf, Saruman, all them, because they show up 1,000 years into the Third Age. So this is like old AF.
Yeah.
So it's going to be exciting. Dude. Yeah, what's up?
Yeah, no. I was thinking about it. The way you said that was almost like Lord of the Rings' Old Republic for Star Wars.
Sure. Yeah, you can view it like that. For sure.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, this is... I'm over the moon. All I hope, and this is truthful, because I love Tolkien's writing, and I know some people can't get past it because either he talks too flowery or he tries to describe way too many details, or he's too caught up in the histories and old English type speak. I think if they have the right team behind it, which I can't remember the guy's name, he was one of the creative leads on behalf of the Tolkien estate behind the team of Peter Jackson and his wife and Philippa. I can't remember her last name. He was like kind of helping make sure what they adapted to the screen adhered to the original writings, but translated well for a viewing experience. And he's also heavily involved with this project. So that tells me all I need to know, that there's going to be a sense of respect and care done with the material, but they're gonna change some things where they need to change it so that it adapts to an audience who hasn't read the books. But this is immensely exciting, and the fact that there's
and also the I think they're shooting everything in New Zealand too, right? So they're staying to the roots of all the other films too. Yeah,
absolutely. So, they're going to be working with Weta Digital, the visual team behind Lord of the Rings that brought them acclaim, and now they've worked on so many projects it's hard to even count. So it's very exciting time to be a Tolkien nerd, and I'm over the moon on that.
Yeah, man, 10 million an episode? That is no fucking joke, dude. The budget is insane.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm so pumped for this, but
yeah, honestly, Amazon has been doing pretty good with their series. My favorite series on Amazon so far has been The Boys. I don't know if you've actually ever caught that one.
Yeah, I had to stop at a certain episode with a certain girl killing a guy in a certain way.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
I was like, oh boy, okay, I'm out.
Yeah. I think with that show, that show didn't have like a ridiculous amount of budget either, you know, for what the story that they wanted to tell was perfect. And then cool. I'm pretty sure that the budget went up after that one. But something with like Lord of the Rings, like the name itself, I can see them wanting to put a shit ton of money into something like this, of making sure that they get it right.
Yeah.
So I have, at first when they first announced this was before The Boys, because I feel like The Boys is the one that kind of put Amazon Prime Video on the map for me.
Really?
And I think maybe a few others, because they didn't really trust Amazon at first. Like with some of their original series, they were okay, but they didn't have a hit.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. I know that they tried to do, I know they're still trying to do several, because every time I go to the movies, they're advertising something that's on Amazon Prime only or whatever, but none have really reached out to me. The Boys was a big one. I know everyone was talking about that.
Yeah.
But
so I feel like that's what put them, that gave people trust towards him. Like, okay, like they got something here. Maybe they're going to come out with some more original stuff. So now after watching The Boys, and I feel a little bit more comfortable. Okay, then like I feel like Lord of the Rings could work on Amazon Prime.
Yeah, they have so many potentials. I'll just name one more because I don't want to jinx myself with asking too much, but it'd be really cool. I think they've talked about it. I don't know if it's been confirmed. They're also going to possibly deal with the fall of Numenor, which is a whole awesome thing in and of itself. So there's tons for them to do for seasons upon seasons upon seasons. So this is good times. One thing I'm less thrilled about, but it's still kind of fun for those who are a big fan of this character. Jar-Jar-Binks is rumored to appear in the Obi-Wan series for Disney Plus. He's also rumored to have a beard in the series.
Yeah, so he's coming back, boys.
We said big doo-doo this time.
I did, as much as people fucking hate him, right? As much as people hate him, I think he didn't get justice yet. Like, I feel like either people want to see him, one, get killed off, or two, like maybe redeemed or something and not be as annoying. I don't know, man. Because for me personally, I don't know how you felt about Jar Jar. Me, he didn't bug me that much. That's not what bugged me about the prequels. It wasn't Jar Jar, because even after the first one, he was barely in the other ones. Like, yeah, he came out like for like maybe a scene or two, but it wasn't like all up in there like the first one.
Right.
So I don't know what do you feel about Jar?
Okay.
Does he bug you?
So Jar Jar, as a kid, I thought he was funny because I love the Three Stooges.
Right.
Going back and watching it though, there's a lot with him that I'm like, that should have been trimmed out or not done, because some of it's a little like, it's a serious moment. It's like the finale of Phantom Menace. It's Darth Maul versus Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan, and then it cuts to Jar Jar like with a ball, and he's like, whoa, and he throws it and falls. I'm like, just why?
Yeah.
Just have an action. But I don't know. What's cool or not, I don't know. Jar Jar as a character, almost single-handedly, yes, he was manipulated, and he was dumb, but he kind of is responsible for putting Palpatine in the position of Supreme Chancellor in Episode 2. Because Padme, she's off-world, hiding away. And Palpatine and the blue dude, who's his yes man, is all like, if only Senator Amidala was here to do this for us. Jar Jar's like, I'm here in her stead, so I will do that, without even thinking for himself. And he's like, I grant emergency power to Palpatine. And everyone's like, yay, after that. And so he's like, cool. So he's kind of responsible. So it would be cool if Jar Jar was like, Misa screwed up. Misa is big doo-doo.
Misa fucked up. Misa. Oh, man. Yeah, but you have a point. You have a point. Yeah, it's interesting. I'm okay with him, like, being in the Obi-Wan series. I don't think it would bug me. Even if he was in there, like I said, maybe he gets redeemed, or he saves Obi-Wan or something. And not only that, but I feel like the CGI now could have worked better.
Yeah,
Even if they wanted to do practical effects too for Jar Jar, they could do that, and it could probably look a lot better.
There's been a lot of Gungan talk, like in Mandalorian. There was the reference, right?
Yeah,
so it's
maybe he's a Gungan. Yeah, so there it is. I mean, maybe it's rumored. It's not been confirmed whether if he is actually in the show or not. But it's funny to talk about it because it's just like, damn, this Jar Jar thing is not going to go away until we can get him at least one more time. So I think, it wouldn't bug me if he was in there, not as like a reoccurring character every single episode, but just like as like a homage to all the haters of the prequels and, and that character.
It's a bit of like, hey, don't be a stick in the mud. It can be fun.
Yeah. And plus it makes kind of sense, right? Because Jar Jar met Obi-Wan when he was just a Padawan still.
Yep.
Yeah, he wasn't even a full-on like Jedi Master yet.
No, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's supposed the fact that he's supposed to have like a beard too is kind of funny.
That'd be interesting. Like if it's a full-on like huge flowing thing, that'd be interesting. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm just excited for Obi-Wan series, man. Ewan McGregor as Obi again is just. That was the best thing out of the prequels is his casting for that. He played that role so fucking good.
Yeah, I'm so excited for that series. Yeah. And the director that's assigned with it too. She did such an excellent job, Mandalorian. But that's all stuff we've talked about before. The final bit of news that I have It's more so a general topic.
Okay.
Award shows, and specifically the Academy Awards or the Oscars.
That just happened a few days ago, right?
Well, they've announced who's been nominated for things. I don't think the Oscars has actually happened yet.
It hasn't happened yet. Okay.
Yeah, I think it might be like this weekend or something. But
right.
There's been a lot of nominations, and to say that film Twitter, like as a whole, has imploded, I think is an understatement, because the leading movie with the most nominations of 11, which I believe is the most you can have at the Oscars, is The Joker, which I don't think it deserves all of them, but it does deserve to be recognized as a good movie, because it is a good movie, in my opinion.
Yeah.
People are going to the extremes on Twitter of just saying it's the most garbage thing, going back to that whole like media issue way back in the day when it was building up to the movie's release, saying it's for like incels, even though most people don't know what that actually means, and saying it's going to cause violence. Now they're saying it's for incels, but it has no meaning, and it's just another white person movie, which I didn't even think of that as a thing with the movie. I just thought of it as a character for Joker. But I don't know what I have to say on that, but it just kind of shocks me, like the level of investment some people have with award shows. I think it gets to a boiling point where it's no longer reasonable. I think people need to take a step back and realize it's just an award show.
Yeah. Some people take this shit way too serious. It's unfortunate, people just have too much fucking time in their hands sometimes. It's just like, damn, dude. It is really not that serious. It is just like he's nominated, but that doesn't mean he's actually won, right?
Right, exactly.
So like they haven't won, but yeah, that is quite a few nominations. 11 is no joke, and I think it actually has more than The Dark Knight, if I read that correctly, too.
Yeah, I know that The Dark Knight
won over The Dark Knight. Yeah, so this is the most. From a comic book movie, I think it also said too.
Endgame only got one, and that was for best visual effects, to my knowledge. Another thing, even aside from Joker, is a lot of people are griping that the Academy didn't nominate any movies that were directed by any female directors. Which I wanted to get your opinion on that. Do you think that's an issue, or do you think that it's more so they're looking at the quality of the film and not necessarily that it's a man or woman behind the camera, which is what I would hope.
I feel like this is a lose-lose situation, man.
Yeah,
because if they don't include any films by a female director, then that's the thing that most people are gonna guess. Oh, you didn't include it because
Yeah, I can see 100%.
They're just gonna make up bullshit, right? But what if they were looking at the quality of the films that they wanted to put on there, and it just so happened that there wasn't a female directors that they felt like that they wanted to put on there the film. So I don't know, man. Those are touchy subjects. I feel like I hope. I'm not saying that this is true. I'm not speaking on behalf of of the Oscars or anybody in charge over there, but I hope that's not the reason why. Is that because they don't feel like they're good enough or whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like my thoughts was we have to keep in mind, unless you're a part of the Academy that makes these decisions, we're all basically just guessing what happens behind the curtain. We don't know actually what goes on, and so
no, we don't
know, and so we have to just kind of just go, okay, it sucks that this movie wasn't necessarily nominated for an award, but it's just an award. It doesn't make a movie good or bad.
Nope.
That is up to the individual.
As in the viewer, the consumer, that pays to go watch these movies are the reason why most of these films do either bad or good.
Yep.
So we are our own. Just be your own critic and be your own, person.
And I have to think across the board for 2019 and many other years as well, the amount of talented directors, both men and women, actors, both men and women, just across the board, it's just getting better. Like I'm constantly impressed with new talent coming in, old talent still nailing it out of the park. They're doing fantastic things. And so, it'd be nice for people to get awards, but at the same time, I don't think there's enough awards for all the talented people out there. So that's kind of where I would leave it with the whole Oscar talk. Because it's fun to talk about Oscars, but ultimately that's not the measure of a good film, in my opinion. So
yeah, for sure. It's unfortunate, man, but it's not like, I don't know. I'm happy because I love the Joker.
Yeah.
But it's unfortunate that all this drama like came with it. You know, it's like it seemed like it was just one thing, and then another thing just kept adding on to that, and then another thing just kept adding on to that, and it's just like it's become a bigger issue than it should.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I agree. But
it's like same thing with like you were mentioning there's different talented directors, female directors, and I'm excited for Deborah Chow, man, what she's gonna do with the whole Obi-Wan thing, because what she did on the last or the 2 episodes that she directed in Mandalorian, she fucking killed it, man. Those are some of the 2 best episodes of the series.
Loved it. Yeah,
so
I'm so excited.
I hope that has nothing to do with it, but like I said, like, yeah, I don't know, man. I think people are just talking out of their ass sometimes. So
people get a little overheated, but overall, I think it's fun to talk movies and everything like that if we keep it civil. And I hope you guys enjoy when we talk about movies and everything on the podcast. And we just want to share the love of film and cinema, because I think it's something to celebrate.
Absolutely. And so, you know, I know some of you guys wanted to hear our thoughts and opinions about some of this news related stuff, and I hope you guys have enjoyed this, and hopefully you guys like this new format where we just talk more. I have our either discussions on specific topics we want to talk about, or just a lot of the news that we want to give our opinions on. But yeah, so do you have any other more news, or are you good to go?
That's it for news, other than maybe announcing what we're planning to do for our underwater review, if you want to talk about that a little bit.
For which one? I'm sorry.
For underwater.
Oh yeah. So we are going to do underwater review. After this podcast, we're going to do a mini review, and we'll be sure to have that uploaded right after the podcast for you guys to watch. And also be sure to go check out the 2 reactions I have up as well. We're going to have the reaction for Bloodshot and also Morbius. So be sure to check those out. Also share the videos, guys. Hit them a like. It doesn't go a long way just to do that. Just, I promise you, it helps us out. Get the word out, post it on social medias, all that stuff. But thank you guys so much for watching and supporting the videos, and stay tuned for next week as we do another podcast, and I'll let you guys know the review on either Twitter and let you guys know, because we're still like up in the air whether if we're going to review Bad Boys 3 on release date, or if we're gonna review something else. We're still kind of there. I wouldn't mind.
Yeah,
we might have to.
That'd be cool.
We might have to wait.
I think we might be doing a topic that would be really interesting of anticipated movies and such. So that'd be good. That'd be a good one. Yeah, if there's any topics you guys want to throw our way, like I said, Twitter, go ahead and tweet it at either me or Tim, or the What's Poppin' podcast Twitter handle. So go over there. Are below and everything like that. Below there. Yeah, you can also comment on the actual YouTube comment system too. You can put them on the comment section, of course. But once again, thank you guys again for watching, and we'll see you guys very, very soon. Tim, it's always good talking to you, brother. Take it easy. Man. Peace.